welcome back to another episode of Why I Love BNI, your podcast spotlighting different members and different businesses on what they love about their business, how they help people, and of course, what they love about being a part of the BNI family. So today I'm super excited to have my guest Tanner with us today. Tanner, thank you so much for the time today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Macy. I'm super happy to be here.
Well, I'm super excited because you are doing some really cool stuff. I didn't even realize some of the stuff you did do until we had our one-to-one, I think, about last week. And I just had a blast learning about your business and your passion for helping people. So why don't you kind of just kick us off and tell us a little bit about what you do and how you help people?
Awesome. So I operate the ZeroRez carpet and tile cleaning franchise here in Orlando. And really, I started the business back in 2019. So just a few months, the end of 2019, just a few months before 2020 and the whole disruption and what's normal way of life and through COVID. And so really through that process, I've really enjoyed helping people make their home a clean and healthy place.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so we do carpet cleaning, we do upholstery cleaning, we do area cleaning. This is like a deep restorative cleaning. Maybe if you don't have the time or money to be able to replace carpet or things like that, it gives it a really deep clean and prevents just makes it do a great job. Makes it last longer. The process is pretty awesome at Zero Res too, because we're not using any harmful chemicals, we're not using any soaps or detergents, because that leaves sticky residue in the carpet. So really just helping people feel comfortable in their home, making it just an inviting, warm place. And we all know that just getting on your hands and knees and cleaning the spots, whether it's pet spots or tile and grout, is just it's just not for not for everyone. So being able to help relieve that burden, a lot of people is super fulfilling for me.
That's amazing. And that's why you guys are called Zero Res, right? Because of no residue.
Exactly. Yeah. So we have a patented process that we take just water, we run it through a filter, we soften it and run it through another process that essentially electrolyzes it. So it increases the pH. So it cleans as if it had soaps or detergents, soaps in it. But when it dries, it's just straight water. So it's not leaving that sticky dirt attracting residue in the floors or on the upholstery or anything like that.
Mhm. And when do you recommend someone calls you up? Like, does something have to happen in their house, or is it something that you could get done maybe annually, semi-annually? Like, when is a good time for people to call you if they suspect that they might need your services?
Great question. Really, people call at all times. Sometimes where people will say, "Hey, every 6 months, I want my carpets professionally cleaned." Sometimes they say, "Oh, I got a big party coming up, whether it's the Super
Mm.
Bowl or whether it's a holiday or something like that." Say, "I want to get my grout cleaned, so if we spill anything on it, we can eat right off the floor." Or maybe you had a new puppy, a new dog, and the dog comes in, or maybe an older pet that has accidents. People call us, "Hey, we want to make sure that it's just clean." Or if they're moving into a new home, that's another
Mm.
great opportunity. People are like, "Hey, I want to live my own filth, not someone else's." So have us come in, just really do a deep clean of everything, get a nice fresh start. So a lot of different variations on why people would use this, or they just say, "Hey, just time to get my carpets clean." That's good reason calls too.
Do you have a recommendation of like, I would definitely recommend having someone check your place out at least once a year, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, at least once a year is recommended. Most carpet manufacturer warranties require that you have hot water extracted, which is the method that we use every 12 to 18 months.
Okay.
And so to maintain your warranty, that's the minimum that you
Mm.
and that's for carpet. I mean, carpet is just a big filter, right? And if you ever vacuum your carpet, you see the canister, it just gets so full. You're like, I did not realize that was there. Especially if you have like any dogs or pets that drop hair and just bring in dirt. I have a dog, a little golden doodle, and he doesn't shed, but it's amazing how much he's like. We let him outside, he plays around, he just sits in the dirt. I'm like, "Oh, Cody, what are you doing?" Comes back in and lays all over my carpets. Like, so definitely get that vacuum out there frequently, and then obviously once every 6 months or so, get it deep cleaned.
That's great to know because it kind of almost reminds me of like the very common Febreze commercial. I don't know if it still airs now, but they had a really big ad run for a very long time where, to us, everything in our house, we're like, oh, we're used to it, right? Like, oh, our carpets, I'm sure, always looked that brown, stuff
Yes.
like that. And it's not until you really have someone come in, someone from outside of your family, from your circle, and go like, "Wait, is your house supposed to be this color?" And you go, "Yeah, it's been like this for years." And you find old pictures like, "Wait, it's not been that way, and I should call someone like Tanner to help me out."
Yeah, slowly over time, you just get used to it. People get call it nose blind, you get nose blind to what's in your house, and obviously you just get used to it. That's the color of my floors, and then when we clean, people's like, wow, just like it's amazing. I didn't know it was that clean.
Do you
Anyways,
guys ever do before and after photos for clients?
all the time. Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
just
gosh. I'm
my
sure that's
phone.
like mind blowing.
Yeah, my phone is just full of just like bunch of pictures of tile and grout, like just dark stuff. And obviously we try to post on Facebook and on Google, we can see things like that. But it really is amazing. It's very, very satisfying just like to watch it happen. Like,
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I watch those videos on Instagram all the time. Like you get caught, like sometimes I'll be like, I just really need to watch a carpet being cleaned right now, and I'll go and I'll watch. And then sometimes because it's all obviously pretty fake half the time anyway. So like they'll purposely dirty a carpet to clean it, I think on Instagram. And then I'm just like after the third time, I'm like, wait, how many more cleans is this carpet gonna go through? What did it even look like before? So you never know what's going on there. But to switch gears just a little bit, who was the first person that invited you to BNI? How did you find out about it?
So I first found out about it by my father-in-law, who actually owns the franchise up in Jacksonville.
Oh,
And we kind of partnered together. We started this franchise here, and he's still up there, but he's like, hey, BNI has been really good for me. He's been in business 20 years, right? He's grown
wow.
it from just him and his sons were working on the vehicles on the trucks, and he grew it now to a really large company and has over probably 30 employees and he's like, you need to do this. It's been good for me. And so I started soon after we opened in 2019. We visited a couple of BNI groups and found Alliance Business Partners is where I joined for the first time, and I'm still there, right? 5 years later, and
Wow.
it's been a great experience and a lot of wonderful people in that group and throughout all the chapters of BNI.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so great to meet with other people. And I'm sure you're able to kind of go visit other chapters and make all types of connections because I want to say maybe your specific niche isn't super popular within BNI. That seat isn't always taken.
That's definitely an opportunity. So hopefully, yeah, definitely one of my goals to get out there when I'm not super busy. But just every BNI chapter I've been to is super welcoming and just awesome people in there and just really
Amazing. Hmm.
great relationships.
That's great. And as we close out the podcast today, I've really enjoyed having you on. So thank you so much for your time. Is there any maybe standout BNI success story? I'm sure you have so many that you'd love to share as we wrap it up.
Yeah, certainly. So there was actually a member of BNI who we got to know each other. He did flooring, right? So it's a good
Mm.
symbiotic relationship. So if we go to floor, we can't, we're not miracle workers, but so sometimes the floor just needs to be replaced. It gets get worn out. And so we go back and forth, hey, we need to replace this floor. And he actually left the group. And then probably 6 months, 8 months later, I get a call from a property manager say, hey, there was a flood in my building, a big commercial building, a pipe broke. Can you come help us out? And so he's like, yeah, sure. Let me jump in the van, went over there, and it turns out he was a referral from this ex-BNI member who we still have a great relationship
Oh,
with.
wow.
And that we were able to help him out. He had just 2 floors of his commercial building flooded, and we were able to get there right away and get it cleaned up, and just it was a great story and just a testimony that these relationships that you make in BNI are not just for the money, right? It's not
Right.
just, hey, let me pass business to you, let me get my thank you for closed business. No, it's really real relationships that you build to help everyone, right? I mean that's giver's gain is not just BNI. It's a principle that's an eternal principle that we love to live by, especially in BNI.
Yeah, exactly. And that, he was an ex BNI member and he was still able to continue referring you and you guys still had that really strong relationship because BNI is a great basis for forming those relationships. And then it starts to become irrelevant if they're still in BNI or not. Obviously, we want people to stay in BNI as long as they get that value out of it, but they're still able to reap value from what they sowed before. So I think that's really amazing to hear. That's a pretty special success story. I think that's a little bit unique one for sure. No one I think has mentioned an ex-BNI member yet. So huge hats off to you guys and all the work you're doing.
Thanks so much, Macy, and same to you. You're doing great.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Well, Tanner, again, thank you so much for the time today. I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun for me. I really loved learning about your business and kind of showcasing some of the cool stuff you're doing. So I'll make sure I have all of Tanner's information in the description. You can click, copy, and paste to check them out just a little bit easier. So again, thank you so much for the time today. And to everyone watching, I really appreciate you as well, and I'll see you next time. Bye.